Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about something called congruence. We're going to focus on what it means to be congruent and congruent angles. And we have a special guest today. Ozzy the pig is going to join us. Alright, so to be congruent, the definition that we have for congruence is having the same size, same shape, and equal measurements. And for congruent angles, we're really going to focus on that equal measurement part. So if we have two angles, we'll say angle A and angle B. If these two angles are congruent, we have a special symbol for that. And the symbol looks like an equal sign, and it has this little marking above it. This is a congruence marking, or a congruence symbol. And that just means that the two angles are congruent. And for now, all that tells us is that if angle A is congruent to angle B, then the measure of angle A is equal to the measure of angle B. And then we can use that to find missing angles, things like that. Today we're going to focus mainly on one very special type of angle, and that is vertical angles. And vertical angles have the property that they are congruent to one another, meaning their measures are equal. So let's hop into an example. We'll go on to the second slide there in the slideshow. And in the second slide, we have this example here. We have two intersecting lines, which two intersecting lines are going to form vertical angles. So we're given 70 degrees, 5x, there's a little degree symbol up here, that's all it is. So from this, what we can make, given that these are vertical angles, we can see that they share a vertex, they're opposite. We can make the equation, well, they're vertical angles, they have to be congruent, so their measures are going to be equal. So we can say 70 is equal to 5x. And our goal is to find x here. So we're really close. All we need to do is now divide both sides by 5. 70 divided by 5, we should get 14. So our value for x is 14. If you were to substitute 14 back into this angle here, which is represented by 5x, well, 5 times 14, that does equal 70. So this angle equals 70, which it should, because they're vertical. Let's move on to our next example. Our second example in here is going to be working with vertical angles again. Information's a little bit different this time. We're given this angle is 34 degrees, and we're given this angle is 6x plus 4 degrees. So very similar to the last one, we can make an equation from this. These angles are vertical to one another, so therefore we know 34 has to equal 6x plus 4. And our goal is to find the value of x here. So subtract 4 from both sides. 30 is equal to 6x. Divide by your 6. So therefore x should be equal to 5. And then if you want to make sure if you're right, take your 6x plus 4, put in a 5 for x. So 6 times 5 plus 4, you end up with 34. And it should be 34 because these are vertical angles here. They should have the same measurement. Alright, on to our last one of the day. And for this one, our goal is to find the value of x and the measure of each angle. So a little extra work here. And we are given two intersecting lines again. And we have 8x minus 4 degrees and 6x plus 28 degrees. Alright, and our goal is to find the value of x and to find the measure of each angle. That's an 8. Okay. So because these are vertical angles, they're opposite, they share a vertex, they're formed by the two intersecting lines, we can go ahead and make an equation, and we just need to know what the relationship is between vertical angles. Well, they are going to have the same measurement. We don't know the measure of either one though, but we do have an expression for each one. So we can say 8x minus 4, that needs to be equal to 6x plus 28. And now we have an equation that we can solve. Let's go ahead and add 4 to both sides. 8x is equal to 6x plus 32. Now let's get all of our x's to the same side. Subtract 6x from both sides. You get 2x is equal to 32. Divide by your 2. And x should equal 16. So we found the value of x. Now our second part is to find the measure of each angle. And if we did this correctly, when you put your value of x into both the angles, since they're vertical, they should have the same outcome in the end. So let's go ahead up here at the top. We have 8x minus 4, and we're going to substitute in a 16. So 8 times 16 minus 4, and our 8 times 16 gets us 128 minus 4. That's going to equal 124. So this angle has a measure of 124 degrees. Then for our bottom angle, if we want to check to make sure we did it correct, we're going to have 6 times 16, that's our value of x, plus 28. So 6 times 16, we should end up with 96, plus 28. And when you add 96 and 28, you do indeed get 124. So this angle also measures 124 degrees. As it should, they are vertical angles. Alright guys, that's all for today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Say bye to Ozzy.